far too well. Mosquitoes are not just a nuisance, they can also carry serious illness.
Some people feel they're more prone to getting bit than others, but are they really?
Half of every human being who has ever lived was killed by the same animal. Not war, not disease in general, not natural disasters, not other humans. One single creature has wiped out more people than every plague, every war, every famine, and every predator in the entire history of our species, combined. About 108 billion humans have ever lived on Earth, and scientists now estimate that 52 billion of them were killed by something so small you can crush it with a single clap. Something so common you've probably killed dozens of them yourself without thinking twice. Something that's flying around your house right now, looking for you. It's the mosquito. And what it's done to humanity is the most terrifying story in biology. This tiny insect is not just an annoyance, it is the deadliest animal in the history of our planet. It has shaped wars, it has destroyed empires, it has rewritten human evolution. And it's still killing nearly 1 million people every single year. Right now, in 2026, in the age of vaccines and modern medicine, let me show you exactly how a creature that weighs less than a raindrop became humanity's greatest enemy. It starts with the bite. But here's something most people don't know. Male mosquitoes don't bite. They don't drink blood. They live peaceful little lives feeding on flower nectar like tiny vegetarian fairies. The mosquitoes that have killed half of humanity, every single one of them was female. When a female mosquito needs to lay eggs, she requires protein. And the easiest source of protein on Earth is blood. Yours, mine, anyone's. So she finds a victim, lands silently, and inserts a needle-like mouth called a proboscis into your skin. But she's not just stealing blood. She's also injecting saliva. That saliva is the problem. Mosquito saliva contains anti-clotting chemicals to keep your blood flowing while she drinks. But it also acts as a delivery system for every disease she's ever picked up from every human or animal she's ever bitten before. Malaria, dengue, yellow fever, Zika, West Nile, chikungunya, encephalitis, filariasis. The list goes on and on. A single mosquito bite can change the entire course of your life, or end it. Malaria alone has killed more humans than any other disease in history. For thousands of years before anyone knew what was causing it, entire villages would be wiped out by mysterious fevers. Children would die in their sleep, soldiers would stop at a riverside town and never leave. People blamed bad air, they blamed the gods, they blamed witches. It was the mosquito the entire time. And the body count is almost impossible to comprehend. During the construction of the Panama Canal in the early 1900s, mosquitoes killed over 20,000 workers. The French tried to build the canal first, and mosquitoes destroyed them. Yellow fever and malaria spread so fast through the workforce that France gave up entirely. The Americans only succeeded because they spent millions of dollars draining swamps and killing mosquitoes before construction could even begin. In World War II, more American soldiers died from mosquito-borne diseases in the Pacific than from Japanese bullets. Generals would write home saying their biggest enemy wasn't the army across the battlefield, it was the swarm in the jungle. Even Alexander the Great, one of the greatest conquerors in history, is widely believed to have been killed by a mosquito. He had conquered most of the known world by age 32, defeated armies, built empires, and then he caught malaria from a single bite and died in a palace bed in Babylon. The man who couldn't be stopped by armies was stopped by an insect. But here's what makes a mosquito truly terrifying. It's not just one species. There are over 3,500 different types of mosquitoes on Earth. They live on every continent except Antarctica. They breed in any water, a puddle, a bottle cap, a footprint, a clogged gutter. A single female can lay 300 eggs at a time, and those eggs can hatch into adults in just a week. One mosquito today can become 30,000 mosquitoes by next month. And they evolve fast. Mosquitoes have developed resistance to almost every pesticide humans have ever invented. DDT used to wipe them out instantly. Now most populations are immune. Modern insecticides barely work. They're learning to bite indoors instead of outdoors, to avoid bed nets, to hunt at different times of day. They are adapting in real time, faster than we can keep up. For most of human history, fighting the mosquito has been a losing battle. Until now, because scientists are finally trying something completely insane. And it's actually working. In Brazil, in the United States, in parts of Africa and Asia, researchers have started releasing millions of genetically modified male mosquitoes into the wild. These males are designed to mate with wild females, but their offspring carry a deadly genetic flaw. The babies die before they can reproduce. It's biological warfare against an entire species. In one trial in Brazil, scientists released 450 million modified mosquitoes over 2 years. The local mosquito population dropped by over 95%. Disease rates plummeted. Whole neighborhoods that had suffered from dengue fever for generations suddenly went silent. No bites, no outbreaks. No deaths. In Florida, similar trials have shown the same results. Mosquito populations crashing in real time. Cases of mosquito-borne illness dropping to almost zero in test areas. The technology is being expanded to more countries every year. For the first time in human history, we are actually winning. But here's the part that gets really weird. Some scientists are now asking a question that nobody thought we'd ever have to ask. Should we wipe mosquitoes out completely? Forever? Erase them from existence? We have the technology to do it. With enough modified mosquitoes released over enough years, we could potentially eliminate the deadliest disease-carrying species, like Aedes aegypti and Anopheles gambiae, from the planet entirely. No more malaria, no more dengue, no more Zika. Hundreds of millions of human lives saved over the next century. But what happens to the ecosystem? Some scientists argue that mosquitoes are food for fish, birds, and bats, that removing them could collapse entire food chains. Other scientists argue that most mosquito species don't even bite humans, and the few dozen that do could vanish without major consequences. Most ecosystems would barely notice. It's the biggest moral question in modern biology. Do we have the right to delete an entire species from existence? Even one that has killed half of all humans who ever lived? Even one that's still killing 700,000 people a year right now, most of them children. Most of them in poor countries, most of them dying from a bite they never even saw coming. Or do we let it keep killing, because we're afraid to play God? Here's what I think is wild. The mosquito is the single greatest enemy our species has ever faced. It has killed more of us than every dictator, every disease, every war, every disaster, every predator combined. And we are finally, after thousands of years, holding the weapon that could end it. The only question is whether we'll pull the trigger. Until then, every time you hear that high-pitched whine in your ear at night, every time you slap your arm and find a tiny dot of blood, every time you wake up with an itchy bump you don't remember getting, just remember you are being hunted by the most successful killer in the history of life on Earth. If this completely changed the way you see mosquitoes, hit that subscribe button and join the Untold Earth family. We uncover the wildest, most jaw-dropping truths about the natural world every single week. And I want to know, should humans wipe mosquitoes off the planet forever, or is that going too far? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. I read every single one,